gonna get this interview started. We got Frenchie in the building with us tonight. Y'all give it up for Frenchie. This is this artist, you know, I've been knowing for quite some time since I got here to Atlanta, right? He
well,
is.
I don't know when you got to Atlanta.
I got here for quite some time. Let's just put it back. Yeah. His father is Bobby French. If y'all don't know, the karaoke king. Frenchie, tell us about the name Frenchie first. You know, how we come about with just that name.
So my last name is French. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Growing up in grade school, people would call me by my last name. First name Brandon, and it was a bunch of Brandons in school, so people used to just call me by my last name.
Right, like, and I mean, if you don't know him, you will know him. He's the only artist I know got clean music, good clean music, crazy clean music.
And I don't want people to misinterpret that, like just because it's clean, it don't mean I'm not addressing real talk. I get on the track and snap and not say one
curse word,
and you'll still feel what I'm saying.
Tell me about some adversity that you received, because your music is no cussing, and everybody's so used to the cursing and the, you know, bitch hoes and rims, you know.
I mean, an artist like me, you can get labeled like bubblegum. So I mean, I definitely don't want to be labeled bubblegum. As far as adversity, while I was at Georgia State and I became well known for making songs, I really got a taste of what fame is like as an artist, and that really confirmed to me this really ain't what I want.
Right.
I feel like I have the talent to be a famous musician, but that's not really what I want to be. I don't want to just be an entertainer. I'm more than an entertainer. I want to connect with people. So adversity. If you're trying to be a famous musician, you have to just accept that being judged is part of it. People are going to say a lot of negative stuff, and that really got to me. But if you really believe in what you do, you don't allow people's outside opinions to affect the road that you're traveling on.
What made you become a graphic artist on top of becoming an artist and a producer?
In 2009, that's when I got serious with graphic design, and the way I really got into it is I started this group called The Progression. That's what I live by. And the ideals are unity, inspiration, and amplification. And I started that because I had a really big following on MySpace, and people were really drawn to me and would always keep in contact with me. So I was like, what is there? I have to come up with a way where I can keep all of us together and maybe we can all represent something positive and keep in touch. So that's how I came up with the group. And I got into graphic design because all the members that joined, I had to make them a picture, a membership picture, to represent that they're part of the group. Okay. So in 2009, I really started making a lot of pictures for people. So that's really what I specialize in, is photo enhancements. So I do a lot of that. I do logo design too. So anything that you need visually, I do that.
So it was like you would get somebody over here to do a picture for them, and then they'd be like, "Oh, who did that picture?" Then they come to you, and then it was like a chain reaction. So you know.
That's how it works right now. Now that I'm doing it as a business, it started off though just with that group. So anybody who joined the group, they knew, like I would let them know, all right, you're part of the progression, so I have to make you a membership photo. Okay. So it really wasn't like a referral type thing, but now since I'm doing it as my business, I do a lot of promotional work, like free portfolio work, so I'll do a picture for somebody and then their people will see it and they'll be like, yo, who did that picture for you? Yeah.
You actually graduated from Georgia State.
Yes, I did.
Oh man, you have no idea. This boy had a whole following. And tell them how you introduced the freshmen into the school. I mean, it was amazing.
That was actually my favorite part of my whole college years. It was my junior year. It was after I became well known for the music, because I started writing songs for the school and became like this face of the school. They put me on the website and they put me they labeled me the Panther Pride leader. So I became that figure for the school. And then a year after that, I used my influence and my social media presence to really get involved and talk to the incoming freshmen, because I wanted to help them transition. Because I noticed when I came to college, it was kind of hard to meet people sometimes. Like maybe you have to join an organization or something. So I wanted to create a group for them so that they could meet each other and transition a little smoother. And the group is called the Get Down Crew. Very random. It's just a random name that came about just through talking to them. And then we was making friends, so then I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but GDC is the more common name that is known by. So that's the group. I managed that for about 2 years. Met a lot of people, helped a lot of freshmen transition.
Because college is hard. Everybody thinks it's a turn-up session when you're a freshman or whatever, but it's really hard when you have to introduce yourself to a grown-up world. You know what I'm saying?
It can be hard. Like a lot of them, you go from being in high school where everybody knows each other, and then you go to college, you're just another fish in the sea, man. There's so many people. In Georgia State, the population gets bigger and bigger every year. So, I mean, up there with thousands of students, it can be a little intimidating. So I'm glad I could be that person that they could meet, get comfortable, they could meet each other through me, and then it just made their transition a lot smoother and a lot more fun.
I bet you they were just really sad when you graduated. Like,
they were.
Man, I can imagine. I can imagine professors and all. Oh man, because you're a great, upstanding guy.
Appreciate
it. Yeah, I have to say that. Not just because I know your dad, but because I know you and.
Don't make me blush.
Right, you're like.
I did some pretty historic stuff in high school too. I was the first person to perform a rap song at a baccalaureate. Like I wrote a song for my graduating class. And you know baccalaureate is supposed to be chill,
right?
Got up there in the whole gym, like the whole gymnasium just.
So you turned it up?
Yeah.
I sung at mine.
What made you go to Georgia State? Like what made you choose Georgia State out of everywhere? Berkeley?
Pretty much just location. Initially I wanted to go to an art school because I wanted to focus on music, but then I figured my parents, specifically my dad, he recommended that I go to a 4-year university. So Georgia State, right in Atlanta. That's the only school I applied to, so I applied and I got in, so that wound up being the school I went to.
Did you expect to be, that successful at Georgia State as to if you would have went to like, another college that really was like, into music, like, heavy?
When I went to Georgia State, like the way my college career panned out, it didn't really go the way I planned. I really didn't have a plan because I didn't know what I wanted to do with a degree. I've always known who I am and what I'm good at. So wherever I am, I'm gonna be active in art. I'm gonna be making music. I'm gonna be doing graphics. So I was doing that all throughout Georgia State, and I couldn't picture myself going to any other school now that I finished at Georgia State, and the stuff that I was able to do there musically to become like this campus celebrity and writing songs, school anthems, and to have a school get behind me, shooting a video with the president of the school in the video, having my songs played at Georgia State football games in the Georgia Dome, like it got really, really ridiculous. So I didn't have that picture in my mind.
You didn't think that was gonna happen?
I didn't think that was gonna happen, and that came through a class.
What exactly was your major?
I went in as a music major.
Okay.
I switched to business, then I switched to marketing, and I ended up at hospitality. I didn't know anything about a hospitality degree, but I wound up taking an elective. It was a hospitality event planning class. And that's actually the class that inspired me to write my first Georgia State anthem. I actually wrote a whole album for Georgia State. And to my knowledge, that's the first album ever written for a university. I don't think anybody else has done that.
Well, there you have it. Black history. Black history. All right. So tell us what we got going on, in the future. What can we look forward to? Music, graphics,
Actually, the biggest project I'm working on, because I'm moving away from my own music. I did that for a while, writing songs, and I thought that's what I wanted to be, was a famous performing artist and go on tours and do the usual route. But now I'm on a whole nother thing. So for about a year and some change, I've been managing a recording artist competition called The Standard.
Absolutely.
It never ends. And basically what I do is I give independent artists a platform to be heard and to get real feedback from people. Because I think that's really what's suffering in the underground element. A lot of people, they want to push themselves, like everybody's promoting themselves, but where's like the collaboration and the help within the independent underground community? So that's what I'm trying to change, specifically online.
Right.
You go online and all you see is people sharing links.
Absolutely.
This random person hits you, hey, hear my music, man.
Right, that's why I put a block on mine. I put a block on my tag. You can't tag me in nothing.
Yeah, so like, I know how it feels. I know how it feels to be an independent artist and you sharing your links and you want people to pay attention. And it's like you feel underappreciated because it's a lot of talented people out here.
It is.
A lot of people that need to be heard. So that's the role I'm trying to play now. I'm trying to fight for them.